Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? LiveWire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is LiveWire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good? Welcome to another LiveWire Sports Media update. All right, so today, Kelsey Mitchell was she posted a pretty good, I guess you could say, heartfelt message to her dad. She definitely wanted to acknowledge her dad. She wanted to acknowledge, her time, with the Fever. She gave appreciation to Caitlin Clark and everything like that. But before I get into her letter and give my rebuttal, Kelly Krauskopf gave, she was on, I guess, Locked On women's basketball, and she gave a profound answer to what Kelsey's future is. Now, make no mistake, a lot of people think that what Kelsey put out, what she said early in the year about her, want to trust free agency, but the Fever still have the rights to her because they can call her to keep her and work out a long-term deal. Make no mistake, she could want to go to another team, but the Fever still will hold her. She could sign for a one-year deal to wait till once the CBA comes in and then get a bigger payday. You know what I'm saying? It all doesn't matter because once the new CBA kicks in 2026, there are going to be more free agents to look at, and maybe you want to keep Kelsey for 1 year and see what's out there after that. The next wave of free agency comes out, you could probably find a younger piece to replace her. Who knows? Right now, Kelsey Mitchell is 28 years old, and maybe this might be a 1 year rental for her and to play for the team and then seek a contract somewhere else. Or maybe they want to make sure they sign her, lock her up for another 3 to 4 years, and then find a replacement within her 2 years of her contract. Who knows? But make no mistake, Kelly definitely wants Kelsey back with the Indiana Fever. Now, I'm going to play this clip because it gives a lot of detail of what Kelly's mind is and where she's at. They definitely want, like I said, they definitely want Kelsey Mitchell back. And I think they're going to do everything possible to get Kelsey Mitchell back with the team because the team is at a pivotal point right now. And free agents going to want to come. And I think Kelsey Mitchell is smart enough. She wants to be appreciated. And it's nothing wrong with that. She been with the Fever for 7 years through the ups and the downs. And now she finally gets some level of success with the team this year as they made the postseason. She had her best career year, with Caitlin Clark. Her and Caitlin Clark finally got on the same page throughout the season. They became a little bit closer. She was more like a little mentor with her Erica Wheeler. Then you have Aaliyah Boston in the mix. So there was a lot to, strive. And I know Kelsey probably thinking like, hey, because I'm going to say this. If Christy Sides was still the head coach of the Indiana Fever, I don't think Kelsey Mitchell will come back. A lot of this predicates on the coaching, the GM, all the moves that they made and how they are going to go forward in the future. And I think if you look at the landscape of the team, a lot of the teams losing head coaches and stuff like that. Now, we already know that public enemy number one, Cheryl Swoop's been out here advocating for Kelsey Mitchell to lead the Indiana Fever because she has a disdain for Caitlin Clark. And we get it. But Kelsey Mitchell and the Indiana Fever, the players on that team, is not like that. And she does not want to see Caitlin Clark have any kind of level of success, benefiting anybody that's playing with her that's black. And we're just going to call it for what it is. But at the end of the day, you look at it and say, hey, Kelsey Mitchell is in a good situation. And sometimes people go out and chase money and go to bad teams or go somewhere where you get paid more money, but then your playing time gets cut. Then you thinking to yourself, dang, I should have just stayed where I was at. And sometimes the grass is not always greener. But I'm going to let you listen to this clip, then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to dive into Kelsey's tribute.
I know it's going to matter. I want to end with free agency and specifically this. So you come in, we keep talking about it, and I think very fairly and accurately so. There are these three elite players among a roster that has a lot of talent in Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell. The first two obviously are signed, on their rookie scale deals here. Kelsey being a free agent, you have the opportunity to offer her more, according to the CBA, than other teams. You can come into the Supermax. If she wants to go somewhere else, then there'd have to be a sign and trade that comes into it. It's not a lot more. And obviously you're hamstrung in some ways by this happening now, as opposed to, say, under the terms of a new CBA that might have a larger salary cap or more options or more, opportunities. So I wonder how you approach this year. Do you try and look at it short term? What are sort of the nature of the conversations to try and, sell her on continuing in the vision of where you guys are and where you're going?
Yeah. I think honestly, most players who are unrestricted free agents are most likely looking at 1-year deals. Mm-hmm. So that's not unusual. And it certainly doesn't change our opinion of how important Kelsey is and how important, she is to returning to this team. So that she's our number one priority. Yes, we do have the opportunity to core her. And it would be sort of irresponsible of me if we didn't utilize that opportunity. Right. So, going beyond that, I can't speak to that because I don't know what the future is, and can't really even talk about it, as well. So sure. we're really focused on the 2025 season. And then trying to sign and grab, some more experienced players if we can, under the, regulations that we have. But I feel pretty confident that we've got something to offer a lot of players. This is a place where, we take care of players here. We have a tremendous company, top to bottom, Pacer side, Fever side, G League side. We're all in this together. This is a basketball company, basketball community. It's about experience for players. I've had players leave and go to other teams, and they're like, "Man, I was wrong. The grass is not greener." And that's happened on the Pacer side too, by the way. Sure. So it's, we know we have something special here, and it's our people. It's the fan base around here. People sort of galvanize together, and it doesn't matter who's playing on any given night in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. They're going to be there.
And just to kind of button that up on the Kelsey side, coring as sort of it's been taken different ways by different players through the years. But in this situation where, like you said, everyone's operating on a 1-year time frame right now because of this CBA negotiation, do you feel like there's an opportunity, especially when there's communication with it that comes along, to have that be ultimately not taken as a negative as you go forward with it?
Yeah, you would hope. I think it's more of an honor, you've reached the level of, if I'm a player, it's like they think I'm important enough that I'm the tagged the franchise player. That's the way I would look at it, because those don't come along very often, and when you have the opportunity to do that, you want to use it on your most important player. Mm-hmm. And Kelsey Mitchell is that for us. She's in the mix. The Clark Mitchell backcourt is about as lethal as you can get. And we need another year to see just how much damage those two can do in the backcourt, to go even further, because, spent the first half of the season just getting used to each other. Then the second half of the season, you saw, just how efficient and how good they can be. And then we have to be better defensively. We were 11th overall in defense as a team. So our area of growth is really on the defensive end.
And in last year's WNBA, the leader in defensive efficiency was the Connecticut Sun. Who was the coach of the Sun? I can't remember last year.
Well, I mean, she better bring some of that with her. We've already had those conversations.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't need to be first in defense, but we just need to be better. We just need to be better. I think we're like second in pace in terms of playing fast, and we'll continue that. Our offensive efficiency is very good, and there's ways that I think Steph will even, bump that up a notch. Mm-hmm. But on the defensive end, you can't win championships if you're last or second to the last. I mean, it just doesn't happen. Yeah. You can't outscore people. I mean, there's been teams that have tried that before, and it never works.
I remember.
All right, so you heard and listened to everything that Kelly had to say. And it's most important, she said, the grass is not always greener. Most likely they going to core Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell is not going nowhere. For everybody who think that Kelsey Mitchell is going somewhere, you could throw that out the window. She also said that you see what her and Caitlin Clark was able to achieve together, which I say that they are the best backcourt in the WNBA, bar none. And she said she wants to see what they could do a year two, because they did develop a lot of chemistry. They did develop a lot of continuity together. So if you develop them together again, when they're able to bond more and start reading each other more, it's like how when Steph came to the Golden State Warriors, Clay came there, and they started figuring it out. And then once they started learning how to play together, you got to see great things that they was able to do. Now, unfortunately for Klay Thompson, injuries derailed his career, where he's no longer there. If he was still playing at a high level and he never got injured, he was still been a Golden State Warrior. But nevertheless, Kelly don't want Kelsey there. And I do believe they are going to do whatever it takes to get Kelsey Mitchell back in Indiana Fever uniform. Now, Kelsey Mitchell, she already expressed that, hey, I want to test out free agency. She was there, but guess what? She's not going to get paid as much as she's going to get paid for Indiana. And like I said, before Indiana allow her to leave in free agency, they will core her. And then they will pay her whatever the core price is. And then they can still work out a long-term deal with her and just say, hey, okay, boom. And like she also said, it's just like in the NFL when you get the franchise tag. Now, the franchise tag for the NFL, the price keeps going up because of the position. And you got to understand, for quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, and defensive ends, linebackers, and all of that stuff, it's all totally different because the price is different. For Kelsey, she's been, you could say she's been, as a shooting guard, she's been very lethal, very good, especially in the second half. She's been very, very good in the second half. So you want to see what her value is. Like I said, teams going to try to go after her, try to, get her. But the Indiana Fever is going to have they're going to have the upper hand, because Kelsey could go somewhere else because they want her services. Yeah. But at the same time, how much time is she's going to be able to, develop with another person, her style? Would they allow her to play her style? Indiana is able to allow her to play her style with the benefit of her and Caitlin Clark playing together. You want to continue to have continuity with Caitlin. You don't want to lose her and you bring in somebody like a Kelsey Plum who plays totally different from her. or you could bring in a Kennedy Carter. Now, shout out to Ben Daniels. He did mention Kennedy Carter could be an option, but it's all about fit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think now you can make it work if you was to lose her and you went after Kennedy Carter and paid her. Now, but her attitude and behavior is totally different. And I probably spend another time on that video, probably tomorrow, to detail it and the pros and cons of that, working. So I will work on that another day. But anyway, the Indiana Fever they're not gonna let Kelsey Mitchell go. So for people who think Kelsey Mitchell is gonna go, and for Cheryl Swoops out here and say that the Fever mishandled her contract situation badly and all of this stuff, no. Kelsey Mitchell's been with the team for 7 years. This team hasn't been winning at all. It hasn't been winning. And they finally got to the point where now they in a position. You got 2 number 1 picks. You're able to get better, add some more free agents. Make a run for a title. Why not? Why you wouldn't want to be a part of that? It just don't make sense. So we'll see what is going to transpire. But like I said, most likely she was going to get core. Kelsey Mitchell's not going to wear. So for everybody who thinks that, that's different. Now, let me dive in real quick to Kelsey's letter to her dad. Now, we all know Kelsey Mitchell's dad passed away sometime this year, and it was very heartbreaking for her, and I think he was 56 years old, which I'm telling my age. I'm 56. I have 2 daughters as well. So I understand what it's like, and everything like that. So Kelsey Mitchell, she did for what she did. She started out, she gave her respects to Caitlin Clark, and she said that she has so much respect for Caitlin, especially on how she handled everything as a youngin. She said, I hope we did a good job of being there for you too. See, because she always called Caitlin C square. And then she said she gave her flowers early on in the game because the eyes she brought shine a light on all of us, and which it was. And she said that one of the craziest part of the season was obviously the new spotlight they had on them with Caitlin being drafted. And she said, who she is so proud to call a teammate. That was exciting in her own way, and with the fans that she brought to the arena and the opportunity it gave the team. But she said, I think in a weird way, the outside noise kind of made people forget sometimes that we're still human. And that goes to show that some of these people out here trolling and, whatever the case might be, they got to understand, these teams is going to have bad games, but that doesn't mean you have to go on social media and just start, ripping them apart, you know what I'm saying? Because they do get better as season. And then Aaliyah Boston was a test of that, you know what I'm saying? She was a test of that early in the season, and then, she came back. So, like I said, she was averaging, Kelsey Mitchell had the best season, averaging 19 points a game, earning All-Star honors. The Indiana Fever had 3 All-Stars on the team, and most likely they probably have 3 All-Stars again from this team. And she finished the season with 767 points, just behind Caitlin, 769. Like I said, they both was the best backcourt in the league. They were very efficient. They scored the most points as a duo. The Fever was second in pace, so that shows they could get better. They probably will be number 1 in pace this year. Now we all know that she's in China playing overseas, and she doesn't know what's next for her when she look into free agency. And this is a very, very important part that she narrated right here. She said, And it's hard to know what your future holds, Mitchell wrote. She said, to be honest, I don't know what colors I'll be wearing next year, which just makes me cherish this season and our group even more. Mitchell has previously explained that her family will play a significant role in her decision-making process, particularly after the tragic loss of her father. Obviously, I've always had a home in Indy, so it could potentially be home for me again. But I think right now, the switching dynamics of my family and everything, I got to do what's best for me. That's not hanging my hat on one team or another, but I think it's specifically for me, I gotta be selfish in the process. In the players tribute, she wrote, "You don't expect your dad to pass away at the age of 56. That sends a shockwave through your whole family and everyone that knew him. It hurt more than I could ever imagine. To put in words, pain and trauma makes you look at life a little bit different. I didn't know what would happen next if I was going to play this season, how I was supposed to play this season. However, given the strong relationship with her teammates, it's likely Kelsey would consider staying in Indiana. The Fever can also protect her by designating her as a core player, which I illustrated earlier, which is similar to the NFL franchise tag, which I illustrated earlier. The WNBA teams can call one unrestricted free agent per offseason, but a player can only be core for the maximum of 2 seasons. Since Mitchell agreed to extension in 2021, she hasn't yet to be core. So, again, and I understand Kelsey Mitchell's position, and she has every right to do that because, losing a loved one, which I have, my mom and my brother, it does change the dynamics of how your life is and where you want to be from now until the next few years. Because no matter what, death is never easy. It's never explained, and it's never hard. So, with that being said, I do believe Kelsey Mitchell is going to stay, but she wants to take a time to decompress. She got a great relationship with her teammates. That's going to play a huge part. Caitlin's going to want her to come back, because they develop a bond. They've developed so much success in the season. And there's nothing wrong with taking a step back, say, hey, I want to continue my career here. I don't want to go nowhere else. Because when you go from place to place and you're changing, you might not find the happiness and the success that you really look for, and everything like that. And everybody might not treat you the same, and then some of your accolades that you could achieve with the Fever, you might not be able to achieve it with other squads. So, and we have seen players leave teams and go to another squad and don't do well, and Kelsey might not, she could probably do okay and she might not. So we don't know in that process. But I understand her position because, like I said, I've been there. We all been there, especially when you're dealing with the loss of a loved one. But I think that with the core, she could be core, and they could core her. They also could work out a long-term deal for her. And Kelly and Stephanie White and Amanda, they're going to make sure that Kelsey Mitchell is back with the Indiana Fever, and her and Caitlin Clark grow into year 2 together and be a dominant force on the court. So give me your thoughts, likes, comment about what Kelly Krauskopf said and what the future you think for Kelsey Mitchell. Now, I'm not going to look into free agency to who could replace Kelsey Mitchell, but I would do a what if video, and it's going to be a reaction to Ben Daniels' video he did on Kennedy Carter. So that what if video will come tomorrow. But leave your likes and comment. Continue to subscribe to the channel. I get a lot of people commenting, and I do want a lot of people to continue to subscribe and support the channel, because the channel is growing, and I'm almost at 7,000, but I need more of y'all to come in and everything, and definitely gonna be, do some more lives and whatever the case may be. But until then, this your boy LiveWire Sports, and you know what it is.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? LiveWire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is LiveWire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.